Hi everyone and welcome to our new topic which is all about the nature and concept of staffing. So for our background, let's first define what staffing is. So it is the human resource function of identifying, attracting, hiring, and retaining people with necessary qualification to fill the responsibilities of current and future jobs in the organization. So, to cut the story short, class, no, ang mga businesses or companies is hinahanap nila, no, they try to identify ano ba yung mga jobs na kailangan nilang i-offer, na kailangan dun sa company to operate. And then, of course, no, they have to also find ways to attract. Okay, kasi syempre, no, lalo na those people who have good qualifications, normally they will find a good company to work for. So therefore, they need to establish a good branding para ma-attract nila yung mga qualified applicants. And of course, no, the process of hiring and retaining people is also important kasi in the hiring process, there is a selection and a screening process para malaman natin kung sino lang talaga yung qualified among the applicants. Kasi hindi naman lahat is natatanggap sa trabaho. May mga nare-reject din. And ganun din for retaining people once the employee is already hired. Syempre on how to retain that employee, yung mapanatili, is another factor to consider. The number of managerial personnel or non-managerial human resources needed by an organization depends upon the size and complexity of its operation. Its plan for branching out or increasing products and turnover rates of both types of human resources, among others. Besides considering their number, the qualification for the individual positions must be identified so that the best suited individuals for the job positions may be selected for hiring. Yung dami class ng mga managers at ng mga staff or non-managerial position, nakadepende daw yan sa laki, no, ng kumpanya at doon sa complexity ng operation. Pag sinabing complexity, gaano ba kadami ang mga proseso to operate the business, ano ba yung mga needed people, no? Or may plano ba tayong mag-branch out or mag-expand, no, ng maraming branches, or tayo ba ay gagawa, no, or magbebenta ng mas maraming products. So yun yung normally mga basis for forecasting how many people, both managerial and non-managerial positions, are needed in the company. So, syempre, no, bawat job titles or job position, may tinatawag tayong qualifications. Okay? Qualifications, later, we will focus more on that. No? Ano ba yung mga hinahanap ng mga kumpanya para ma-consider ka for that individual position? The management and non-managerial human resource inventory. Awareness of the management potential within an organization can be accomplished with the use of inventory chart, also called management succession replacement chart. This chart is similar to the general organization chart used by the company but limited to managerial positions and the names of potential successors: promotable, satisfactory but not promotable, and dismissed, etc. Recruitment by external means may follow if there are no qualified successor. So, doon sa ating tinatawag na management succession replacement chart, nakalagay doon sino ba yung mga potential na parang mag-succeed or maging successor mo, no? Kasi the reason why we have succession chart is because hindi pwede kasi na mawalan tayo ng mga good managers. So there should be a a succession program kung saan once an employee retire or let's say one manager, no, one key manager leaves the company, ay meron tayong ipapalit. But there are some cases, no, na yung mga pumapalit for key positions, pwede nating i-hire externally. Ibig sabihin nun, hindi sila part ng kumpanya, they came from other companies or they work for other companies before, then they are now applying for that managerial position. The need for non-managerial human resources may be ascertained by the use of a general organization chart to identify vacant job positions that need to be filled or by direct reports from department unit heads or supervisors. Managers need not make detailed succession planning as these job positions are less sensitive. Suggestion for internal replacement or successor for vacant non-managerial position are usually done as the need arises. External recruitment also follows if no one within the organization is fitted for the job position that was declared vacant. So for the non-managerial position, okay, non-managerial or yung mga rank and file, normally wala na masyadong succession program doon, okay? Kasi these position are less sensitive. Pag sinabing less sensitive, um, madaling palitan. Okay, parang hindi naman siya pag nawala ay hindi naman ganun ka bigat doon sa kumpanya kasi pwedeng maraming pumalit, no, for that position. Why? Because normally these positions doesn't require so much conceptual skills. Normally, they just do routine labor. So, technically, kahit na mag-hire ka sa labas, ay mapapalitan natin yung mga ganong rank and file position. That's why, normally, for less technical jobs, no, hindi na kailangan ng succession planning. Staffing has two main components, which is recruitment and selection. So the process of identifying and attracting the people with the necessary qualification is called recruitment, while selection is who to hire, choosing who to hire. So what are the steps, no, that is included in the staffing? So first is, no, identifying of job vacancies, job requirements, as well of workforce requirements. But before that, no, I forgot to explain lang. Pag recruitment, anyone with minimum qualifications can apply. Okay, tapos kunyari 100 yung nag-apply, tapos 5 lang yung vacancy, yun na yung selection. Kumbaga among the 100 applicants, who are those applicants qualified for the job? So ano daw yung process ng staffing? Una, alamin muna natin yung mga job vacancies, syempre. Tapos per job vacancy or job title, meron niyang job requirements. At ganun din, meron din siyang workforce requirement. So sa job requirements, it includes the credentials, the skills, no? And even sa workforce requirement, the ability to work within teams. So this could be some example of the requirements needed when applying in a job. Then checking internal environment of the organization for human resources. So normally, no, pwede naman na magkaroon ng internal hiring kung saan yung mga papalit dun sa work, no, or dun sa yung parang i-hire are also coming from the organization. Then, doon na papasok, no, kunyari, wala namang gusto mag-apply or the job remains vacant. So, doon na papasok si external recruitment or recruiting. So, sa labas tayo, hanap ng mga taong qualified for the job. For selecting those with essential qualification for the job opening. So just like what I mentioned, no, selection or selecting, hinahanap natin yung may mga tao na may qualification for the job opening. Placing the selected applicant. So when you see the word placing the selected applicant, it means na ito yung ilalagay na natin siya dun sa kanyang department. Pero bago yon, magkakaroon muna siya ng orientation. Nang sa ganon ay hindi naman siya magkaroon ng ambiguity na ano ba yung meron sa kumpanya, ano ba yung meron dun sa department, no? So magkakaroon ng orientation and at the same time, initial training. Then, on the process of promoting, ito yung na-hire ka na and then you become regular, okay? And you excel, no? In the workplace, you were observed by your superior na you are qualified for the job, no? You excel in the job rather. So, therefore, you were given a chance to be promoted at work, no? It could be from staff to assistant to supervisor to officer level, and then officer to assistant manager level, depending on the organizational structure of the company. And of course, evaluating performance. Normally, every year, at least once a year, every employee are being evaluated. So, this evaluation, no, normally is a basis for merit increase or incentives or even promotion. And of course, planning of employees' career. So normally, if you are part of the human resource department, you are trying to create a career development program so that an employee may be retained or an employee will stay because he see a good career path in your organization. And of course, no, training of human resources. Um, every year, normally, there should be a conduct of training so that employees will enhance their current competencies or they could be prepared in the future whenever the company will expand or will acquire new technology. So, therefore, training is very important in the preparation of the employees. And of course, compensating, no? From the keyword compensation or compensate, um, the benefits, the salary of the employees should consistently improve, okay? Because at the end of the day, if if the employees feel that they are not well compensated, then they might be attracted to apply in other company or they might experience the motivation that will lead to less productivity. So next is external and internal forces affecting present and future needs for human resources. Present and future needs for managers and other human resources are affected by both external and internal forces. So, pag sinabi natin class na external forces, ito yung related sa economic or ekonomiya, technological, social, political, and legal factors. For example, economic progress in a particular country may bring about increased needs and wants among people, resulting in turn in increased demand for certain products. So, followed by the expansion of the company and its workforce, as well as increase or decrease in demand for managers and other human resources. So, pag lumalago ang ekonomiya, no, syempre, ano nangyayari? Nagkakaroon ng increase sa demand, 'di ba? Nagkakaroon ng increase sa demand which resulted to expansion of the businesses. Okay? So dahil nag-expand yung businesses, syempre, kailangan nila ng workforce that increases the demand for managers and even mga non-managerial position. The firm's goal and objectives, technology, the types of work that have to be done, salary scales, and the kinds of people employed by the company are among the internal factors or forces that affect staffing. So from the keyword internal, no, sa loob ng kumpanya, ano ba yung mga nakakaapekto sa pag-hire ng mga applicants or ng mga employees? So syempre, ano ba yung goal and objectives ng kumpanya? Kung ang goal nila ay to be the best, syempre yung company, pipili sila ng mga applicants na the best din. Ganun din with technology. 'Di ba? So they need to have people who is inclined with technology, who are computer literate, could able to use different updated equipment. Yon. So that is internal forces or factor. For example, salary scales offered by a company may not be high enough to attract personnel who are really qualified for the job. Also, this may encourage fast managerial and labor turnover. So, yun nga no, kunyari no, yung salary scale daw or yung salary per se ng company ay hindi ganon kataas para makapag-attract ng personnel. So, possible magkaroon ng turnover no doon sa ating mga managers and even mga staff. So now let's proceed with the recruitment. In the event of a job opening, administrators must be careful when recruiting and choosing who to bring into the organization. They must see to it that their new recruit processes, the knowledge and skills needed to be successful in helping the company achieve their set goals and objectives, and he or she is suited for the job position and the job design. So from a while ago we mentioned about the recruitment no. So dapat no na yung recruitment processes daw natin can really help no na makakuha tayo ng the best people para ma-achieve ng company yung kanilang goals and objective. Because at the end of the day, even though the company has good equipment, they have good facilities, if they don't have the best people, then that's nothing. Ganun lang kasimple yun. So, dapat maganda yung recruitment processes ng mga kumpanya para lahat ng mga empleyado nila are fitted for the work that they are offering. Recruitment may be either be external or internal. In external recruitment, outside sources are considered in the process of locating potential individuals who might want to join the organization and encouraging them to apply for actual or anticipated job vacancy. Unsolicited applications and referrals from employment agencies and schools are example of sources outside the company from which management could select an applicant who best fits the job opening. In internal recruitment, filling job vacancies can be done through promotions or transfer of employees who are already part of the organization. In other words, recruitment is within the organization. So, kagaya ng mga sinabi natin kanina dun sa ating past slides, ang recruitment daw pwedeng mangyari externally or internally. So, may mga tao no na yun nga no na pumupunta doon sa company no or nagsasend ng kanilang resume no kanilang application through website or email, and others naman no meron din naman nanggagaling ng mga referrals from agencies and school. Pero there are some cases na internal recruitment na pwedeng pinopromote yung isang empleyado, or pwede naman yung isang empleyado tinatransfer from one place to another or from one department to another para lang ma-fill in yung job vacancy. Now let's proceed with the methods of external and internal recruitment. External recruitment methods include advertisements through websites, newspapers, trade journals, radio, television, billboards, posters, and email, among others. Another one is unsolicited application received by employers from individual who may or may not be qualified for the job openings. Other term for unsolicited application or applicants are the walk-in applicants. Internet recruiting. Independent job boards on the web commonly use job seekers and recruiters to gather and disseminate job opening information. Another one is employee referrals. A recommendation from the organization present employees who usually refer friends and relatives who they think are qualified for the job. Another one is executive search firms, so also known as the headhunters. It helps the employers find the right person for a job. Such firms seek out candidates with qualifications that match the requirements of the job openings that their client company hopes to fill. So normally, itong mga executive search firms na to, para silang mga agencies na naghahanap ng mga empleyado, normally yung mga for the key position, no? Kasi nga, minsan, ang hirap maghanap ng mga qualified applicants. So, we can hire the services of executive search firms. So, next is educational institution. Good sources of young applicants or new graduates who have formal training but with very little work experience. For technical and managerial positions, schools may refer some of their alumni who may have the necessary qualifications needed for the said job position. So class, no, kahit yung mga universities, no, mga colleges, they have the means to refer yung mga technical and managerial position sa mga company. Nang sa ganon, ay mas madali makahanap ng trabaho yung kanilang mga alumni or alumnus o kanilang mga graduates. The next one is professional associations. So may offer placement services to their members who seek employment. Employers may make use of the listings that they publish in their journals regarding members who are available for possible recruitment or hiring. So yung mga professional association, let's say mga association ng mga engineers, ganyan, association ng mga technicians, no, possible, no, magkaroon sila ng parang publish na open sila for recruitment, no? O kaya pwedeng yung mga company, they can post job listing there para makapag-apply yung mga members ng professional associations na to. Also, we have labor unions, which is possible sources of applicants for blue-collar and professional jobs. So, yung mga labor unions, ito yung parang mga grupo sa isang kumpanya na meron silang tinatawag na Collective Bargaining Agreement or CBA. This is being recognized by law na pag may union ay meron silang power to demand something sa management. Pero on this case, no, yung labor union members can also be possible sources of applicants na kumbaga pwede sila mag-refer or pwedeng sila ay mag-fill in sa isang job vacancy. Public and private employment agencies may also be a good sources of applicants for different types of job vacancies rather, for they usually offer free service while private ones charge fees from both the job applicant and the employers soliciting referrals from them. As mentioned earlier, internal recruitment is done within the organization. Most managers prefer to follow a policy of filling job openings through promotions and transfer. In this way, they lessen the chances of losing the organization's top performer. Recruitment, recruitments rather, may be done by using company bulletin boards, company newsletters, and recommendation from the department or unit heads. Among others, both external and internal recruitment have their own advantages and disadvantages. So, isa sa mga pwedeng medium para makakuha ng applicant is yung mga public and private employment agencies. So, yung mga public, they offer, like sa mga Department of Labor, yun, meron silang mga ganong services, yung tinatawag nilang peso. So, yun, na tumutulong sila para maging parang mediator between the company and the applicant, no? Pero may mga private firms din na nagbabayad yung mga kumpanya para sila na yung mag-hire doon sa mga kailangan nilang mga applicants. So like janitor, security guard, yung mga ganyan. So, ayun, kagaya ng sinabi natin kanina, no, pwede rin naman na internal recruitment para tas ipopost nila sa mga bulletin boards, sa mga newsletter, company newsletter. Tas pwede rin recommendation from the heads or the managers. So let's proceed now to the external recruitment advantages. First is advertising and recruiting through the internet reach a larger number of possible applicants, thus increasing the possibility of being able to recruit applicants suited for the job. Applicants who submit application and resumes through their own initiatives are believed to be better potential employees because they are serious about getting the job. Employee referrals from outside sources are believed to be high quality applicants because employees are generally hesitant to recommend persons who are not qualified for the job openings. Number 4, executive search firms usually refer highly qualified applicants from outside sources because they make an effort to check applicants' qualification before recommending them to client firms who pay for their services. Educational institutions know the capabilities and qualifications of their graduates, hence increasing the chances of their ability to refer qualified applicants to potential employers. External recruitment disadvantages. The cost and time required by external recruitment are the typical disadvantage of suing this recruitment method. Advertising job openings and the orientation and training of newly hired employees from outside sources, as well as sorting out large volumes of solicited or unsolicited job application present challenges in budgeting time and money. Another disadvantage is um, the possibility of practicing bias or entertaining self-serving motives in the referral of friends and relatives by current employees and in the recommendation of private employed agencies of job applicants. Now let's proceed with internal recruitment advantages. Less expenses are required for internal recruitment, advertising, newsletters, bulletin boards, and other forms of internal communication may disseminate information to current employees interested to apply for job openings within the company. Training and orientation of newly promoted or transferred current employees are less expensive and do not take too much time since they are already familiar with company policies. The process of recruitment and selection is faster because the candidate for transfer or promotion is already part of the organization. Now let's proceed with internal recruitment disadvantages. First is the number of applicants to choose from is limited. Favoritism may influence a manager to recommend a current employee for promotion to a higher position. It may result in jealousy among other employees who were not considered for the position. Some may also accuse the management of bias for choosing an employee who is perceived to be less qualified for the job opening. Now let's proceed with the selection. In many companies, selection is continuous because of fast turnover, resulting in vacancies that have to be filled. Another reason for this is the review of applicants on the waiting list. The selection process typically includes the following steps. Number 1, establishing the selection criteria. Selecting human resource in an organization requires understanding of the nature and purpose of the job position which has to be filled. Job design must be based on the objective analysis of the position requirement and must meet both organizational and individual needs. Skills must also be considered depending on the job position and its position in the organizational hierarchy. So dapat is meron tayong selection criteria para hindi siya maging bias at maging objective yung pagpili natin. And at the same time, yung criteria na binuo natin ay fit dun sa job position class na in-offer natin sa mga applicants. Requesting applicants to complete the application form. Application forms must be completed because this provide the needed information about the applicant. Management will find it easier to decide whether an applicant meets the minimum requirements for experience, education, etc. if the application forms are accurately filled out by the applicant. Number 3 is screening by listing applicants who seem to meet the set criteria. This involves the preparation of a short list of applicants who meet the minimum requirements of the job position to be filled. It is done to avoid wasting of time by conducting interviews who do not meet the set criteria for the job opening. So, dun class sa screening, no, ay dito na tayo nagkakaroon ng tinatawag ng short list of applicants na kung saan, base dun sa nagpasa, chine-check natin kung sino lang ba yung mga nakamit dun sa minimum requirements. Okay? Nang sa ganon, hindi masasayang yung oras both ng interviewer at nung aplikante mismo. Next is screening interview to identify more promising applicants. Here, a short list of applicants is prepared. Included in the list are applicants who will be asked to undergo formal interview by the supervisor or manager applicants who are deemed to be most fitted for the job opening to this shorter list. So yung mga sa short list ay yun yung i-interviewin natin, no? So pwedeng interviewin mo na nung HR tapos pwedeng ipa-interview sa yun na, next na is yung manager or supervisor. Yan, interview by supervisor, manager, or panel interviewers. Through formal interview of the most promising applicants, other characteristic of the applicants may be revealed or observed by the supervisor or manager or panel interviews. Such characteristics include the applicant's self-confidence, positive or negative self-esteem, honesty, ability to relate well with others, and positive or negative real-life experience which may affect his or her job performance, among others. Interviewers must have trained so that they will know what to look for. After none, we have number 6, which is verifying information provided by the applicant. To To make sure that the applicant has not given false information about himself or herself, verification is necessary. Background checking must also be done to avoid the hiring of applicants with criminal record and to ascertain that he or she has a good moral character. Then number 7, requesting the applicant to undergo psychological and physical examination. Having a healthy mind and a healthy body is important for good job performance. Hence, applicants must be requested to undergo psychological and physical examination prior to hiring. And of course, number 8, informing the applicant that he or she has been chosen for the position applied for. Informing the applicant may be done verbally or in writing by the managers who give the final decision regarding the company's rules and regulation for hiring an applicant must be given in this step. Interviews are important in determining the qualification of an applicant and gauging his or her ability to perform a job. Interviews may come in different forms. And last is the types of job interviews. So first is the structured interview wherein the interviewer asks the applicant to answer a set of preferred questions. Situational, job knowledge, job simulation, and work requirements question. So dito class is naka-prepare na yung mga questions. While on the unstructured interview, the interviewer has no interview guide and may ask questions freely. So dito is open yung mga questions and normally the interviewer who do this has a wide experience in doing screening or interview. Also, one-on-one interview, which is one interviewer is assigned to interview the applicant. Then we also have panel interview where there are several interviewers or a panel interviewer may conduct the interview of applicants. 3 to 5 interviewers take turns in asking questions. Similarly, there are different kinds of employment tests administered to measure or test the applicant's specific skill of capacity. So, the types of employment tests are as follows. Intelligence test, kung saan ito yung minimeasure yung IQ natin. Proficiency and aptitude test. So, dito minimeasure yung kagalingan natin sa isang specific na trabaho. No? Personality test. It talks about your character or behavior. And vocational test. It could be related to some clerical works or specific labor tasks. So that's all class and thank you so much.